Lucky for all of you today, I'm going to give y'all a little golf lesson on the basic mechanics of a golf swing. And why I feel like I can do that is because I've been playing golf since I was 13 years old. And in high school, my golf team, we won district champions all 4 years. We were regional qualifiers all 4 years, and state champs 2, or regional champs 2, and then state qualifiers 3 years. And then of course, I was first team all district, but who's counting? And so also another reason why I think it's a good thing to learn about golf is because it's something that you can play your whole life. So unlike every other sport that you'll get too old and you can't, dribble a basketball too quick, well, golf is just something simple where you just stand and swing. So I think it's an important lesson to learn. So for the mechanics of a golf swing, the first thing I want to talk about, we'll go ground up, we're going to talk about stance. So when I'm talking about stance, I'm literally talking about the stance. We're going to go feet, you'll be shoulder width apart, and your knees always are slightly bent because you want to be relaxed. With that being said, your arms are slightly bent too, so it'll look kind of like this. And your posture needs to be straight, like have a good posture. And then one more thing before we get to the actual swing is the grip. So it's pretty simple. As you can see, we're going to talk about two things before, I guess I'll set this right here, before we actually get to the swing. So the grip, y'all look at your hands. So your pinky finger on your right hand will go in between your pointer finger and your middle finger, and your pointer finger will go in between your right hand, pinky, and ring. So it'll look like this. Everyone got that? And so then, imagine you having a club. I know y'all don't, but imagine you having a club and you will literally take that and wrap it around the club and then grip it. So that is your grip. Whenever you have your hands over the grip, you should be making a V. It'll be right here. Make sure that V is pointing at your chin whenever you're swinging, or whenever you're setting up. And if it is pointing at your chin, then you're good. You don't want it pointing at your shoulder, you don't want it pointing at anything other than right at your chin, so it's a straight, making sure that your club is straight. And another thing that is super, super important with your grip is that I, for the longest time, had a really hard time squeezing as hard as I could on the club just because I thought that the club was going to go somewhere. But you're actually supposed to hold the club very lightly. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being how I used to hold it, as I thought it was going to run away, and then 1 being it's just barely sitting in your hands, you want to hold it at about a 4. And so that's pretty light. But it keeps your fingers relaxed and it keeps the swing all relaxed, so it'll go further. The ball will. And so now we're going to talk about the fun and interesting part, and that's actually the swing itself and executing the swing. So like I said, we're going to have the club right here, so you have your stance, you have your grip. The one thing you need to know is you're going to be bringing the club straight back. So imagine a clock is around your body. You want to bring it up to about 9 or 10, and that'll be more controlled if it's at 9 or 10 rather than bringing it all the way up to 12. So we'll say that we're going to go to 9 or 10, bring it about right there, and then once you hit 9 or 10, you need to remember that your hips go first always. The hips are the pedal, even for going back to 9 and 10. So you'll go back, and then you let your hips go first, and they drive the club, and your arms will follow your hips. And so the whole time your arms are kind of just mocking whatever your hips are telling them to do. So your hips turn, hands follow, and then you'll finish with your belt buckle or your imaginary belt buckle, I never wear belts, facing forward. And of course the club will be over here at that point. And so now that is literally the basic mechanics of a golf swing, and y'all can say that y'all know them. In conclusion, next time you go play golf, or if you want to go practice these right after we're done here, just if you remember these, then I can say you will definitely have more positive results than if you just go out there and don't remember these, I guess. Like, don't really know the basic mechanics. So whenever you go out there, remember your stance, your grip, and then the swing itself. Trust your swing. Know that whenever you relax, you don't have to force anything, you don't have to reach for anything. It'll happen by trusting your hips and trusting that everything's going to go straight together. So, congrats on your accomplishment, everyone. You can now go out there, practice these basic mechanics, and I can guarantee, hit them straight and your ball will go into the hole. And that's all.